D-Lint. Happy Sunday, everyone. Today is Sunday, January the 9th, where today, as promised, I was going to show you how to create an Irish Blessing Wreath. I make these in lieu of St. Patrick's Day wreath, just because I feel like it could go a little bit further, and people who have a strong Irish heritage definitely appreciate this design. The sign, which is a 5x10, is from Amazon. You can find these on Amazon. It's the only place I've been able to find them, which is simple. It just says, may the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and may the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of his hand, which is just a beautiful prayer for a home. So we're using the 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. In this particular design, I'm doing two different color greens for my pipe cleaners because it's going to be primarily two different color greens. Well, it'll have various shades of green in it. Before we get started, if you are the first time joining us, we'd like to welcome you. Please let us know where you're from. A lot of times crafting connections are made during Facebook Live, so you just never know who you will meet in a Facebook Live. If you want to get notified when we go live, which is every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific and every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, make sure you click the like and follow button at the bottom of this page or at the top of the page, somewhere on the page. Then when the video is actually playing, or any video on a Facebook Live you want to be notified when they go live again, just click the video, tap on the two buttons in the upper right hand corner, three buttons, sorry, and then you should be able to toggle between turning your notifications on or off. So let's get started. I'm going to finish wiring this one together. Remember, on Sundays, this is the view you get. Fridays, we do the whole front facing. So this gives you kind of an overhead view. You're seeing it as though you were crafting with me side by side. 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame consists of 6 sections. We have already done the first 5, so I'm going to show you how easy this is to do that. You're going to use your weld marks as guides, and you're going to wire together the 2 innermost rings together right here with the pipe cleaner. And then we are going to wire together the outer 2 using this weld mark and the first center one that we've already put on.
Thank you, Rita, for sharing.
Oh, yes, thank you for sharing. So if you want to put something like this together, once you get all your supplies, clicking that share button on the bottom makes it much easier to find because it puts this video on your Facebook page, and then that way you're all ready to go when your supplies come in. Okay. So we are using a high foil metallic green. This is an emerald green. This is the trending color of 2022. We are going to do all ruffles on this base because we're going to be adding quite a bit of embellishments along with our sign and bow. We will also be removing the inside 6 pipe cleaners as we go through. So this mesh can be cut with a wood burning tool, which kind of helps keep your fraying at a, I don't want to say 100%, but it's greater than 90%. I like the high foil because it gives it more of a metallic look. It's also a higher quality Deco mesh. So when you ruffle, you're going to imagine a line straight up the middle of your mesh. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to gather this just like that by pulling it forward towards you. And then we're going to take
Cheryl, believe it or not, the sign is from Amazon. 5 inches by 10 inches.
So you're going to take the finished edge and you're going to go finished edges to the center, just like this. And we're going to go ahead and give that a couple twists just to make sure that it's on there fairly secure. We're going to go ahead and snip this off. And we're just going to push that pipe cleaner, whatever's left, back towards the center. And we'll kind of keep on going till we fill in the other pipe cleaners. I'm going to kind of push this off to the side.
Hi, Bridget. She said, hello, Kat and Steve from Louisville, Kentucky. First time on.
Oh, thanks for joining us. Love to have you here. Okay, so people call it the bow tie, the scrunch. Its technical term, wreath making term, would be the ruffle method, but it just depends on whatever you might know it by.
Melissa asked, what is the mesh cut at?
These, oh, that would help, huh? 20-inch pieces. Yes, these are all cut to 20-inch pieces, which I've discovered just over the years of wreath making, because I hate leftovers, that if you use a full roll of Deco mesh and you have 18 pipe cleaners or less, if you cut your mesh at about 20-inch pieces, you should get all the way through one full roll. It just depends on how it was cut.
Thank you, Anna, for the 200 stars.
Oh, we still haven't done that yet. I still got to figure out what our fundraising is going to be for January. So, stars generally goes to a fundraising category that we've done. I haven't thought so much about that.
Let's find out what our church is kind of doing, huh?
Yeah, they haven't said what they're working on right now, so we'll look into that. But the stars are a little icon that you see at your bottom right before your comment bar. It's kind of off to the right. Each star is equivalent to 1 cent, and what we do is we take that money and we put it into a fund for something like supporting kids with books at school, helping the homeless during the winter time with blankets. What else? Feeding the hungry at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, turkey.
And then we supported families at Christmas. So I'm going to speed this up. So I've already taken my ruffles and I've zip tied them. So we're just going to take these and slide these in, because I'm looking at how can we make this go a little faster for you. So I figured if I just zip tied them in there.
Chris, that'd be a good idea. She's, how about donating to like an animal rescue?
Oh, that's true. We can do animal rescue since Betty White passed away this year, and she was a huge proponent for animals.
So there you go, Krista. Thank you.
Thank you for that idea.
We'll
So that's what we will be donating. All the stars that we have raised in the month of January will be going to support animal funds.
And then Wilma sent 45 stars, and Cheryl sent 200 stars.
Thank you guys already. And then we will match them at 100%, whatever we accumulate at the end. And that's how we do the Facebook stars.
Linda, it's kind of a good, funny question. She saw Kat, I have a question. Have you ever used the impulse seal to cut the Deco mesh? Is there any advantage over a wood burner?
I personally don't see an advantage over it versus a wood burning tool. The reason why I don't use it is it takes too long, first. And then second, it's a bulky piece of product that I truly don't have space for in my craft room. It's just too big. So I'd rather just use a wood burning tool that I can put in a little zippered pouch and just kind of put it away.
Wow, we had a stars party completed.
We're having a stars party?
Yeah, because wow, Jania sent 500 stars.
Thank you guys.
And Wilma and Cheryl, like a big star flashed up and kind of did a big thing on the screen.
Huh. Okay.
Okay.
Well, lucky for you. You got to see that. Okay, so as you
Was
can
I the only one? Did everybody else see the star kind of go off? And
maybe it was just you. I don't know. So.
Peggy said I bought an impulse sealer. I prefer my wood burning tool. Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Peggy. I mean, I haven't used an impulse sealer. I just see that the reason why we use the wood burning tool is so that we can stay within the confines of the rows. And when you do that, it helps seal the foil and the mesh. So when you do it on an impulse sealer, it's really hard to line that up to cut precisely right down the row. It's basically wherever you lay it, and then you're good to go.
Everybody else on the video saw it too, so they thought it was cool.
Oh, well, there you go. Now I'm going to have to go back and watch it.
Thank you, Peggy, for sending 100 stars.
I think that's a really good thing. And anytime you guys want to submit an idea for fundraising, by all means, let me know. We would be happy to partner with you towards that. And I just found that doing, I tried to clothespin these ruffles, but my clothespins were snapping on me. So I think the tension that builds up when I made these little ruffles, all they are is just zip tied little sections. So
it's all going to be personal preference, guys and gals.
What's that?
You want to use a wood burner, use a wood burner. If you want to use the impulse seal, use the impulse seal. And
I don't know what the price point is on the impulse sealer, but I know the wood burning tool is roughly between 20 and 25. And I think I've only replaced mine twice. And I haven't even started using the second one yet. It's only because my cords, because the way I wrap my cord around my wood burner, it just causes my cords to fray. So at that point, Steve's replacing them. See, we can just pull all these out, these little packets. So we're going to do the trendy color of 2022. What better way to use that than on a St. Patrick's Day wreath?
I mean, you could use that color for Easter as well.
Yeah, you can use it. Easter's more pastel, is what I see. This would be more of a summer color, like watermelon. Yeah. Is what I would see it with.
Carla said she thinks her sealer was about 50 to 60 bucks, but both work fine.
Yeah, for me, I have a 10 foot by 12 foot craft room, and my closet space, which is usually where I put most of my tools, it's just too big. That's the one, and the other is I like the control I get on the other. Yeah. I'm just reaching. Got a couple more, 3 more, and then this is done. It's kind of nice because I can just keep them contained a little bit more. Thanks for doing that. Then we'll go ahead and put in our ribbon tails. And
yeah, they're all saying it's a beautiful color.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, the high foil, so you're getting an awful lot of the metallic foils. So you see more of the metallic. It's also a thicker mesh too. Trying to get my green cleaner.
Hi Beverly. Well, if you've been watching Kat for a while, you know she's always she uses 6 in the inside and then 12 on the outside for a total of 18 pieces.
Yeah, thank you for covering that. I didn't cover that either. So yeah, Dollar Tree, and it's set up. This setup works for any of the 6 methods of deco mesh that I use. So it'll work on any of those. And see with the zip ties, you can't even see the zip ties now. So we're going to go ahead and put in our ribbon, which is already pre-cut.
So this color would look great on a watermelon wreath. Yes, it would.
Yeah, it would, along with that watermelon pink color. Okay, so let me show you what we're using. We are using 2.5 inch ribbon. So we have the white with the shamrocks and the gold. And then we also have this white with the shamrocks and a little bit of plaid. These are both cut to 14-inch pieces. We're going to alternate these all the way around the outside 12 only. So I'm going to use the light, like where we have the lime colored green. I'm going to go ahead and use it with this. And we're just going to give it 2 good twists just to make sure it doesn't work its way out. And then you want to stick your fingers underneath and kind of puff that back out. Because when you initially lay them in, they kind of buckle under. Where did the ribbon come from? So the white,
yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, the one that I have in my hand right now is from Shinoda, which is a design wholesaler here in Southern California. But they also have an online website. So it's shinoda.net or shinodadesignCenter.net. And then the limey green, this color here, is from Craft Outlet. So we're just going through. We're going to go all the way around. So always.
Charlotte, there's only really a couple dollars between the low foil mesh and the high foil mesh.
Yeah, I think the regular metallic runs about $3.95, and then this higher foil goes for about $4.50. So it just depends on where you purchase it from. Nope, that's why I prefer to go wide foil.
Cheryl, awesome. She said, "Hi Ken, I made 3 Valentine's Day wreaths and they sold right away. Should I make more?"
I would make one more. Because you're really taking it down to the wire as far as like how soon can somebody get, like I know you can ship it within about a week, but we're almost right there at about a 30-day mark. So I always say by the 15th of the month is when I stop making things. So if it hasn't sold, it's just going to roll back over.
And Cheryl, just as a question, how much did you sell them for? Because you might be pricing them too low.
Well, it depends what the initial price point is. That could be a thing, or just you have some great designs that people are gravitating towards.
Yeah. Cabot said, "Love the colors, finally able to catch a live on the East Coast in Connecticut." Welcome, Catherine.
I'm glad that you could join us.
Peggy said, "Remember when we used to cut 10 inches?"
Oh, yes. I know. It is so funny when, because I think I have like 1 or 2 wreaths that still have like, we used to cut, literally, I kid you not, we used to cut the outside ones to 10, and we used to cut the ribbon, the tails to 12. Yeah, and then it was crazy because it's like, what were we thinking?
Well, it's evolution. Right?
Yeah.
Keep improving.
Yeah, you're redefining your technique.
Oh, sure, that's awesome. She said 95 to 120 is what I sold them for.
Good girl.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I would make one more. Probably taking a nod to something that you've already created, like if it was more traditional Valentine that seemed like it was often going quicker, go with that. Or if it was, you know, you sold more country or rustic ones, go with what sold quickly. So you're sitting on the cusp, but I always at least put one in there, and then you're at least good for going into the new year, you know, if you kind of have to hold on that. But you never know. Sometimes your design might be universal. It could fit into an anniversary, a wedding gift, a proposal, something along those lines. Like if it's just a standard like welcome, you just never know.
Charlotte asked, where can I find high quality mesh?
I prefer to get it at Craft Outlet. You can also find it at the Wreath Shop, Trendy Tree, Deco Exchange. So many suppliers now carry it. And you just type in high foil deco mesh or wide foil.
Thank you, Brenda, for sharing. Yeah, Cheryl said I saw one of your older videos, and yeah, you'd cut the tail short. Yeah. I cut them the way you do now.
I shudder to think. Oh, I know I've got to go through now. And when I first started, when I wasn't good at making bows, a lot of my beginner wreaths didn't have bows on them. So yeah, this is going to be a year to reduce some or dismantle and completely just take that design apart. But just when you think, like this is what has happened for me, just when I'm ready to take a design down and either toss it, you know, pull what you can salvage out of it, it sells. So.
Sharon, no, there's no glitter. This is just a very high, wide foil mesh.
Yeah, no glitter at all.
It looks like glitter just because of how thick the foil is, the metallic is.
That wide foil really sparkles. There's glitter on the ribbon.
Some ribbon, yes.
Yeah. So now, my fingers are so sore because we were taking down glow-in-the-dark stars off of our guest bedroom ceiling. They've been on there since our youngest lived with us. And so we were like, well, now it's time to turn it into an office. And so I'm like, yeah, but the stars on the ceiling have to go. So we spent a couple hours peeling stars off the ceiling. They're easy, they come off easy, but you just don't realize how many there are. And there was a lot. So I think after this, I will soak my fingertips, because I was telling Steve it feels like you get splinters like up your fingernails because you're peeling them off the ceiling tile or the ceiling, because we have the smooth ceilings, but the stars are stiff. I'm sure we will feel it tomorrow. Okay, there's that. Here's this one. So let's get these to lay a little bit better. There we go. Well, eventually we'll lay flatter once we get the other ribbon on top of it. Now here's a difference. We're actually going to take this 1.5 inch. This is called emerald green with white raised stitching. And then we're going to do the white with the shamrocks. It has glitter on it. These are both 1.5 inches. They're both cut to 18-inch pieces. And we're going to take both of these and put them into one set of ribbon tails. So we're going to go on the darker of the two. And we're going to save the lighter for a different embellishment. Now, the green, the solid green with a raised right stitch, raised. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. Raised white stitching is from Kringle Design. So it's kringledesigns.us with a K for Kringle. And then the white is from Sims Pottery, which is also a wholesaler. So we are going to take these. These have all been dovetail cut. So you're going to take your wired edges. We're going to put those together. We're going to go about 2 inches to the top, just like we were going to do a half bow. And we're going to hold that. Then we're going to take the other one, do the exact same thing. Let's put these together.
Cheryl, I put those same stars in my kids' room when they were still kids. Well, we're still kids because we have them in our bedroom.
They are. They're in our master bedroom. Steve did that a long time ago when we first moved in here. So they've been up there for 10 years. And when he traveled quite a bit, it was just a nice reminder that
I want to make sure she had enough space to sleep in.
I have enough space to sleep in. So, okay. So once those go in, and I'm going to show you how we do that again, you're going to grab your loops. You're going to open those up. You're going to right side one of your ribbon tails, because you've got one side, wrong side fabric facing you. And then we're going to go over to the other side and do the same over here. So let's flip that over. We're going to go ahead and snip this off. And then we're going to take that little nub and we're going to go up and over and behind our bow. So this is called a double bow. Not because we have double loops, but because we have double tails. So we're going to do these just on the dark green section. So, and I'm going to alternate, meaning on this one here, we had it going on the right hand side. So I'm going to put this on the left just so that it gives it a little bit of variety. I'm going to grab the second one. Okay. Trying to keep the bottoms together. 2 inches in, pinch. Okay, we're going to the left, so you're just going to crisscross them. Right where I'm holding it in the middle is right where that's going to go in to our pipe cleaner. just like that. And we're going to give it a couple twists. Snip this off. Flip it in the back. And then go ahead and open up your loops. Right side. Oop.
Oh, Brittany said I wanted to thank you for my wood burner tool.
Oh, you got it.
To use it yet.
You're going to love it. It will forever change how you use mesh.
I need to get the glass. Where would you recommend to get the glass from?
Oh,
we got it from Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart. Walmart has them for
$8.
like less than that. It's like $7 something. So yeah, Walmart. The one that I have, I think, is 12 by 17. And that's big enough. Because even if you're cutting it on a 20-inch, you just move your sliding glass down to where you're going to cut it. But it will drastically change how you forever do Deco mesh wreaths. Which is funny because it's like for the longest time, people didn't want to use the wood burning tool. And now everybody's using it. So I just thought it was funny.
Linda, the double ribbon bow tails are cut to 18 inches.
Yes. So just like your half bows, because in a sense that's what we're doing is taking two half bows, putting them together like in a little crisscross pattern.
Serena, I think, yes, you're right. St. Patrick's Day is March 17th.
It is. That's one of those holidays that never changes. It's always on the 17th.
Charlotte, that's a good comment. I'm always afraid to put too much ribbon because I like seeing more of the sparkly mesh.
Especially when you have a high foil mesh like this, you know, or you have something with a lot of pattern and a lot of color to it. It's just preference, right? There's some people who don't like to see the mesh. They just kind of see that as part of the base. I see it as part of the design. So I don't think, I hate to say never, because I'm sure at some point it probably would, but I try not to do that. Okay. There we go. Always down, up. I'm trying to think if I want to leave my other pipe cleaners or I want to take them off. I'm going to leave them on there until I figure out for sure what embellishment I want. I think on this one, since it's not really geared for St. Patrick's Day, it's more along the lines of like Irish heritage. I'm going to leave it because I want to put artificial clover, like the real clover in it, but not real clover. Just artificial. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I have some, it looks like a dogwood. It's like a lime green dogwood flower. So I think I'm going to put those where the lime colored green ribbon tails are going to be. So we'll see. We'll see how it all lines up. So flip. We'll pull this off. I have a tail. Sometimes the edge just frays on that finished edge. Sometimes it just isn't 100% perfect finish. There's that. So double bows are something that you almost cannot do all the way around a wreath because they occupy so much space. So if you think about it, putting a double bow here, they're going to really crowd each other in. So if you're going to do it, I need to go. Kind of weird. I must have went off. Yeah, I did. I did off here. Oh well. We will switch. Because I did 2 the same way. But they're still spaced far apart between another ribbon. But because I already cut my pipe cleaner, I don't want to go back around the loop. We'll just let those ones sit. So open. Try to make sure that they're not wrinkly loops. And then flip this one. Okay, so I'm gonna save the lime green ones until we get to the final embellishment. So let's make the bow. So I'm gonna set this to the side. And we're gonna go with the lime green first, then the darker green. These are all my colors. Then we have our dark green. Then we have a dark green shamrock, a light green shamrock, and then an emerald green. So let's see if we pull these a bit apart. Let's do them like this. I think that'll work for the colors. I think I'm happy with that. So we're gonna start with our 2.5 inch, and I'll tell you, well, I should do this now. So the green, it's kind of like a, not a lame, it's nicer than satin, but this is from Hobby Lobby. So Hobby Lobby sells these at Christmas. I'm always picking up solid colors wherever I can. So Hobby Lobby for the win on that. And then the lime green was from Craft Outlet too. So it's the lime green, dark green, and white. So we're gonna cut these.
You said you forgot to switch your bow?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Yeah, like when I was toggling.
Yeah.
But when I looked over on the opposite side, I had done 2 exactly the same.
Oh,
like normally I'm mixing them.
Right.
So now it totally matches because the ones on the exact opposite sides are exactly the same. Mm-hmm. So we're going to dovetail, which is cutting from the folded side right to that wired point. You can't go from the folded point to the wired side, otherwise it'll yield you a point. So we want it to actually have an indent. People call it a fishtail, a dovetail, a ducktail.
Teresa, do you generally make more than one St. Patrick's Day wreath?
I do.
You like maybe 2 or 3, right? At the most?
I think I do. I do a rustic one, I do our Irish one, and then I do your traditional St. Patrick's Day. So this way it's a little bit of something for everybody. Right. So these are measured to 10 inches. We're going to do a 5.5 inch loop. So I'm using the Bow Dabra. It's just my preferred because, again, space, and because I can do a multitude of things with the Bow Dabra that I can't do with any of the other bow makers. So it's like a multi-tool for me. It's literally whenever I want an extra pair of hands. We're going to go back out to 10 inches and do the same dovetail. That one's done. Okay, gonna grab our, this is on a satin, so it's a little on the flimsier side, whereas this is on canvas. It's a lot nicer. I see a lot of the ribbon makers are now going to this like satin polyester blend, which is frustrating because it doesn't really like to hold its shape flat like a canvas would. But we're going to go 9.5 inches in. Okay, we're going to gather at 9.5. We're going to twist. So start right side, then you have wrong side on the in. And we're going to do 5 inches for this. So I will always set my bow maker right on the 10 so I can see it. But then also when I stretch it out here, I can see that it lines up perfectly. So it's 5 inches. I'm gonna flip it around. Do the same. And then we're out 9.5 inches. Finish this one. And with this, you're not really using a ton of ribbon. You're probably using about 2 feet for the bow with each ribbon. And then if you're using the 2.5 inch, you're using about 7 feet all the way around at 14 inches. I think it's like something along that line is how it measures out. So not a lot. So we're gonna go here, dovetail. I haven't even pulled up my thing, my leg. We're gonna measure this at 9 inches and twist. And this time it's gonna be 4.5 inch loops.
One of the sign is from Amazon, 5 inches by 10 inches.
So 4.5.
Thank you, Charlotte. She said, spread the love, everyone.
Yeah, feel free to share this as many times as you'd like. Right here. It's always a simple game I play every time I'm making bows, is like, just try to guess what 5.5 inches is. And then see if you're right by the time you line up. So this is just my recipe for this particular bow, just because I know what size it's going to yield. It works for most of my designs. You can go smaller. You can go less ribbon. There is no right or wrong way to make a bow. It's just whatever formula works for you.
Sharon says she looks like green plaid ribbon.
This one?
The green and white one.
Yeah, the raised white stitching.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. Because you can get it in like beige with the white raised stitching. Just because you can feel.
Red too, I think.
You can get it in all different colors. Red, green, yellow, blue. This one's going to be 8.5 inches. And we're going to twist. And this one's going to be the same. This one's going to be 4.5 inch loop. So that's super simple because I've already done it once. I can just put my fingers in both loopholes and pull.
You're exactly right. She's like, you'd be surprised after a while. You can tell if it's right at 5.5 inches.
Yeah, you can.
The more you do it, yeah.
You're like, you just know. You can tell by looking at it. You're like, no, that's over. And sure enough, you look and you're like, yeah, it's over. It's also really good when you go to the store because you can look. You now know what 1.5 inches looks like. You know what 2.5 inches looks like. So you're really good at estimating measurements now.
That's why sometimes when you go into a shop and you see a ribbon that's a weird width, you're like, that's not 2.5 inches.
Yeah, that looks a little bigger.
Like 2
3
inches.
or
yeah,
3. Yeah, because I'm like, that looks a little bigger. Sure enough, it's 3 inches.
She also, yeah, she used that green raised stitching a lot as well. Works good for military wreaths too.
Yes, it does. It's going to be used a lot. So there's just certain ones that you're going to use quite a bit. So if you have a favorite ribbon to use, order it in a bigger roll. Like if you find yourself using solid green like this, I love this just because the texture on this is so nice. I wish I would have bought more rolls at Hobby Lobby. And so this
one,
yeah. So the loops on this are 4 inches, and then the tail length is 8.
That's definitely like a shamrock color.
Oh yeah, the emerald green. Definitely feels that way.
Charlotte, amen. So I love the fact that I found a great wreath maker that loves the Lord too.
Oh yeah, that's where all the inspiration comes from. I mean, look at everything he's created, the color palettes for us to choose from. I mean, we get our inspiration from everything we see every day. Okay, so look, that's going to be sad. So I'm hoping Hobby Lobby will come out with this next year. Or I should go check Hobby Lobby. I don't know, does Hobby Lobby, has anyone been to Hobby Lobby lately? Do they still have any Christmas stuff like on clearance? I don't know. It's only January. Early January. Because there's some stores that didn't sell a ton of stuff. This last one is going to be, that was a weird cut. I'll fix that. Just kind of, there we go. Had to cut the little, have little arms on it. This is going to be 7.5 inches with 3.5 inch loops. And that's about the smallest I think I will do loops on any ribbon is 3.5. So let's check. 3.5. Actually, it's super easy because if you know that the ribbon beneath it is 4, you just have to bring it in a little bit. Then it should line up right there and then out. There we go. This one's almost done. Yeah, because even when I buy St. Patrick's Day or Valentine's Day supply, I think I buy more Valentine's Day supplies. St. Patrick's Day, look, this is just pretty much done. That's it. So that one's done. I will, like, usually every year I buy like 2.5 and then 2.5 inch ribbon. And that usually gives you enough to kind of slowly start building your collection. Okay, so I'm gonna do the dark green. I'm gonna pick everything up. We're just gonna do our club sandwich hold. We're gonna fish our pipe cleaner in. It's up to you. You can zip tie it if you prefer, floral wire if you prefer. Again, no right and wrong way. We're gonna now fluff this on my fluff board, which I had to make sure the hook was angled correctly. So this is my custom fluff board. I had this made by a friend who hand made it from just gorgeous pieces of wood. So I was like, it's just so pretty to keep using a cutting board. I'm like, I would really like something made to showcase a wreath, so, or bow, and that's what this does. So to fluff, first you're going to separate tails from loops. So you're going to start from the bottom and then you're going to work your way up. So we started with a tail hair and a loop. So we're going to go tail on this side and loop on this side so that the loops are directly across, tails are directly across, and then we're going to bring down our next set. So we did tail hair. We're going to pull a tail to the right, loop to the left. Okay.
Debbie said it's 90% off at Hobby Lobby right now for Christmas, but there might not be anything much left. Debbie said no Christmas ribbon left at her Hobby Lobby.
Okay. It's worth a shot, right? Okay, so down here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go back to our lime green pattern. Tail to the left, loops to the right. Go back over. Tail to the right, loop to the left. Okay.
Cheryl, he kind of did one as a favor to us, but it takes a lot of time, and his shop is very small, so he just kind of does it as a hobby. She said he needs to sell those boards on Etsy.
Yeah.
It costs a lot in shipping too.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I've told him I was like, if people are interested, I can filter them your way. So let me know if you want, and I can send you his info. Okay, so we're still going alternating ribbon. So there's that and that. And then we wind up back with our shamrocks and shamrocks. So right now, literally everything is flat. So all we've done is separated our loops from tails. And so it's alternating the patterns all the way down. So to fluff, you're just going to put your fingers in the loops and give it a gentle tug. Okay. You can line these up however you want. If you don't like the way that, you know, maybe I want shamrocks over here, move shamrocks over there. It's your design. You decide.
Charlotte, we literally just put hangers through our wreath frames and we just hang them up in our closet.
And then we're going to put the green off to the side, I think, which means this needs to, well, it might go in between. Now let's pull it over. I don't know. Let's see how that one lays right there. Let's go over, put that under. I think I like that better. Kind of breaks up the patterns. And then don't forget, we've got to get the ones on the bottom. So this is going to go between. My pipe cleaner's in the way. It's going to go in between those. This is going to go in between these two. Okay. Opposite side, I'm just going to move my tails out of the way. Right between those. Okay. Make sure everything looks pretty.
Yeah, Cheryl and Carol, I'll reach out to him first and see if he's willing to do it. Like I said, he just kind of did it as a favor to us because she does her lives and she wanted something nice to be able to put her bows on.
Let's be honest. I'm supporting the man's small business endeavor because I would really like to see him be able to enjoy doing what he loves, and he loves doing it. Plus, he has cancer. So I'm all about small business, you know, supporting small business owners. So I'm like, I could buy a cutting board or I can have one made. And that's what we did. So I like this. Here's the reason why. So when you have a nice cutting board like this, it basically tells me how far out all of my ribbons are. So if you want to put your arcs back in them, just run your fingers through your ribbon. You can see it's just, I see this as a bow presentation board because when I go to photograph these, it looks so nice to put it on this wood board because that's all you see is the wood underneath. So if you're just selling a bow, it looks nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Charlotte said, I'm thinking on investing in a bow maker. I would definitely recommend the Bodabra.
Oh yeah. Size. And,
The deluxe, it's the large.
well, not only that, has multi-purpose. So it's not just a bow maker. I use this to hold my curls. I use this when I make the angel tree hoppers. It just has multi-purpose. So, okay, let's look at what we have now. So this is going to be our gorgeous bow. Look how pretty that is. It's just so pretty. And then we're going to prep our sign because our sign's going to go right in here. So let's go ahead and prep the sign. It's going to freak all my cats out because I don't know why. The sound of picking up the staple gun freaks them out. All I have to do is pick it up and they're gone. So I'm going to cut off the little twine piece. I am going to use the emerald green because it'll blend in better with our mesh. And we're going to use a staple gun. So this is a Power Shot. You can find it on Amazon. I want to say it's right around 30 bucks. It's different because it's ergonomic, meaning you pushing down instead of pulling up. So it's not like this where you're pulling up on the staple, you're pushing down. So it will go through. See, they all just left. As long as you have 1/4" staples in here and your sign is not greater than 1/4 inch, it holds your pipe cleaners to your wood sign. So there we go. Oop. Let's make sure that went through it. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna move my bow off. We're gonna go ahead and add our sign, so it's gonna kind of just sit here at the side. So I am gonna use one of my interior, so one of the inside 6. So this is where it's going to house my sign. I don't know why that is. It's like I've never chased them around the house with a staple gun going, here, kitty, kitty. They just do.
As a craftsman, staple like that from like 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's awesome. It used to be a Black & Decker. That's like, I bought that at Lowe's a couple years ago because I was watching Steve try to staple Christmas tree lights up, and I'm like, why don't they make a staple gun that goes opposite? So you push in instead of pull up. And then sure enough, we found one. And then the rest is history. Okay, so I'm just gonna push that down to where I'm comfortable. I just want it just under the edge. So I'm gonna take some of these that are my outside Deco mesh. I'm gonna pick and pull these up so that they can frame. We can frame, there we go. This is inside, so we're gonna take that and tuck that back under. So I'm separating inside from outside. Fix my ribbon. And do the same up here. We're gonna frame that really nice. Do this here at the bottom. I'm gonna grab the one that's right here, but keep the inside one, because the inside ones will keep that from falling all the way through, and the outside ones will just kind of lightly frame. Let's do this one up here. Here's my inside, so I need to find my outside ones. So here's one, just kind of twisted sideways, and then we'll grab this one right here. There we go. And then we'll fix our bow. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and attach our bow as soon as I find my pipe cleaners. It's just going to sit right here.
Diana Harless, the first time watching live. Welcome, Diana. Where are you from? What city and state?
I'm attempting to find my frame. Actually, I'm trying to find, there's my inside one. I try to find the inside ones because those are like 100%. I know right where the frame is with that. Okay. So I'm going to turn this because I want my tails to the top and the bottom. There we go. Don't want to pull too hard because then that just compresses all that work you just did.
That really said the green mesh looks like emeralds reflecting the light.
It does. Okay, so now we're going to refluff.
Look at that. She says she lives in North Carolina.
There we go. Because we had to fuss with everything. Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure this side looks weird when you look at it from the side. because we still have to take care of our lime green pipe cleaners.
Shaw says he loves that solid green ribbon, that lime green ribbon.
Yeah, doesn't that just, see, here's where solids, if you were in my private group earlier, we were talking about why solids are critical in your designs. And this just clarifies that, because it just creates its own look. So there you have that. Trying to get everything straightened out. So now we're going to add some Clover to this design, right where we have the lime green. And the Clover kind of comes in bunches like this. So these are going to get bunched. And I don't, let's see, I'm not a fan of wiring things in. Let's see. Just because these can pop off. So I'll cut that down. I'm going to go ahead and remove these. I already have my glue gun on. So we're looking at adding, as soon as I get that positioned in there, we're going to have some Clover around here. And then we're also going to add in, it almost looks like a plumeria, but it's not. I want to say it's dogwood. And I'll show you. So I'm just pulling.
That's dogwood either.
No, not this.
No, I know. The other one.
Yeah, it looks like it. We'll see. So these are gonna.
Pretty.
Let's get. There we go. Just because I think it's nice to incorporate some greenery. You could come in with green carnations, which are synonymous with St. Patrick's Day. And I'm just pulling these all the way up. So I have a true full pick. There we go. That one's really thick. I think I want you on the other side, just based on how that lays. Like so. Okay, we'll do one over here. Okay, I'm trying to separate my picks. So I have one stem. Let's get you to go down towards the center. Do the same thing. Just like that. We're having like these little clusters on top of the lime green. Another one here. Up, over. Let's see. Try to keep these ones all from floating up. Let's just take the last one. Push this up. Oop, a little too long. Okay. I think there's another one right here. And then that will be the last of the clover bunches. So I'm just like really using one whole clover pig on this one. Slide this under. I'm kind of self-creating my own little pick with the little pieces that were left. This will go in here, just like that. Let's see, there's a couple pieces here, so I'm going to kind of fatten these ones up a little bit, just because they're at the bottom. So we have a little bit bigger. So, glue gun. Move it closer to where you're going to be gluing. This is set to low. I'm using Gorilla Glue because it's an all temperature glue. I feel like I'm doing an all temperature cheer. There's that. Can I pull this one out? Use this last piece here. And I think these came from like Michael's or Joann's. Let's cut this down. Again, I'm just gluing the whole bases of all the clovers so that they don't come undone. And tucking this down. Try to find in between my mesh. There we go. I just don't want to stick my finger in there. Okay, pull this out. Don't need it that heavy. Glue all the pieces together so they can't separate. And I'm just adding this right in between my mesh. Mesh and glue, best friends ever. That one's way too long. There we go.
Charlotte said I would add some clover to the big bow.
We might add a couple little pieces. I have one more pick, so that wasn't like, that was the end of it. This one, trim it down.
Thank you, Charlotte. I've watched you several times. I loved everything you make. Thank you for sharing your talent.
You're so welcome. I love being able to teach you how to make beautiful things for your home. Gifts for your friends and family. It's either Joann's or Michael's. Joann's. I can tell by the SKU. 4 digits / 4 digits, but it was like 6 years ago. So odds are they're probably going to carry it again.
Yeah, they know. No ribbon on the inside bow because the sign and the ribbons, for the most part, cover everything on the inside.
What do you mean?
She said no ribbons on the inside row of the inside.
Mm-mm.
Right.
No. But
that
you
helps
can.
Show the mesh too.
You can add it if you want.
Diana asked, have you ever made a saddle wreath for a tombstone? You made something similar.
Yeah, I made something similar. I think we did it as like, I'm trying to get my little clover back on.
The cross wreath.
No, something way different, hun. I'm trying to think. It's similar to like a mailbox swag. It's just people can use, what do you call it? The saddleback swags. They're usually used for the top of a gravestone or headstone. So I personally have not done it, but I have seen how to do it. It's just, I don't know if those would do well out here. I would do it if I was asked to make one. You know, like if a customer said, hey, would you be willing to do something similar to what you just made so that we can add this to my grandmother or family members' headstone? We could do that. Yeah, I think this is plumeria or orchid. And this is from Joann's as well. So we're going to take a couple pieces of this.
Linda said also first time watching. Welcome to Linda.
And let's see how we would incorporate this into, because it's a weird pick. So I'm just trying to not disassemble the pick, but still have something that I can add that to.
Debbie, the little silicone glue mat is from
Amazon.
Silicone Alley is the maker from Amazon.
Okay, so what do you guys think about these? Should we add them or should we not? They're like a different color.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the color.
They're like a light green color. And I think the
Richard said, I love the shamrock, just the right touch.
Huh?
Yeah, Richard said, I love the shamrock, just the right touch.
See, and I'm looking.
Ricky said not.
Yeah, I'm thinking not.
Yeah, it's just the colors off. Susan said no. Kathy said I like it.
Let's see, we could add carnations, which is they're light green. What do you think of the carnations? Too big?
Personally, I would leave them out. I don't like them with the light green or the other color, but it's me, Jake.
Okay.
Whatever you like.
No, I have a tendency of trusting your judgment. Okay, well, let's look at adding. Well, you need to go. You need to go. It's not time. He's like, isn't it time for us to hang out and be buddies? Not yet. Let me look. So we could add the clover to the inside, and like I'm seeing there's a couple pieces that need to be thickened up because we thickened up a couple of them, but I did not thicken up all of them.
There's some people that say they like the addition of the different green, it brightens it up.
Oops.
Linda said the carnations cover over your clover.
Yeah, they do. So if I had smaller flowers that were not yellow, but it's funny, they were in my St. Patrick's Day
Yeah, a couple of guys don't like the shade of green.
Yeah, it's just a weird color.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me thicken up a couple pieces of the clover. Okay, so then in that case, we're going to add this to the inside. Don't need a big old ball on the end of that.
Michelle, yeah, that'd be cute. She said, do you have any small white flowers?
I do, but I think, me personally,
I don't think you need it. I think it's looks awesome.
yeah, because I'm like thinking I have Queen Anne's lace, which is very small. It's kind of like a baby's breath flower almost.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to keep it Irish themed. No, oh, Queen Anne's lace is, oh no, that's an Irish floral or not. What? A dot. I have all these stupid glow in the dark dots all over my head. So, yeah. I am thinking.
You just said you have some gold for the leprechaun.
Well, see, it's not supposed to be St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's not for St. Patrick's Day. It's just Irish.
It kind of is. You can use this for St. Patrick's Day, but it is geared primarily for Irish.
It's pretty the way it is.
I'm looking at adding a couple pieces of the clover.
Jesse looks good, not too busy.
To the inside, and then that would be it. just so that we have a couple pieces. Right. Trying to get them to lay where I want. What do you think of that?
I would say that's more than enough.
Well,
anything else looks like it's
overdone.
Overdone, yeah.
Well, no, I'm just thinking, like, should we add the clover to the inside or should I take the clover out? Like, you guys tell me.
What do you think about the added clover on the sign?
And you guys can say, no, take it out. It doesn't look good. So I'm going to position that so you can see it. I'm going to keep these two. And then you let me know.
Well, Charlotte said perfect. I don't know if that was before or after the comment though.
And I'm like, because I'm even looking at it on my monitor to see.
Rita said out.
Out.
Cindy said I like that there.
Okay, look.
PJ said I like it.
There's out. I'm waiting.
Melissa said I like it.
Clover adds to it.
Clover adds to it. Looks nice, yeah.
But you guys can say no. I think I'm going to leave it out.
Okay.
I think I'm going to leave it out. Honestly.
Yeah, because you have enough clover on the outside around it. So.
Yes, I do. And that's kind of where I was thinking. I was like, I don't want it to be overrun with clover.
Right.
I just want it to be a nice little touch.
Michelle said it breaks up the mesh, but there's really not that much mesh to break up.
There's just this. That's literally it.
Right above it. Yeah, maybe in the corner by the...
I'm going to leave it out.
Okay.
So,
there you go.
There you go. Designer's choice. So, you guys have the option when you make yours. You can leave your clover in. You can position your bow different. You can position your sign different. It's entirely up to you. But this design is finished. And we're all done. So, here's the thing. If you guys want to join my private group, we are started a Back to Basics class. Today, we just did a color theory class. And I think it's always the one that the private group members say they enjoy the most because it explains color and how you use that to emphasize your design. And also why you struggle as a wreath maker to try to match mesh to a sign, to a ribbon. So that is a class that is ongoing. It's going to be happening for the next 6 weeks. If you join today, you can still view that class because you have access to it as long as you're a private group member. You can sign up on the KatsCreationsNMore.com website. It's $17 a month. We meet every Sunday at 3 o'clock Pacific, which is 5 Central, 6 Eastern. And then we also do business classes on Monday, but I don't want you to get confused with business where you're like, well, I'm just making them for family and friends. Yeah, so was I a while ago. And then you start getting people who say, well, I want to pay you for your time. I want to pay you for materials. But you can utilize that to show what it is that you do. You can choose to go into business later. You can start it off now, but it's just an extra added perk you have. So if you guys are interested, that is available to you. Other than that, I guess I will see you all next Friday at 5 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern time. And we're going to spring. So we're going to do a watercolor welcome spring bunny wreath. And I hope you guys will enjoy that one as well. So thanks for enjoying and staying with me tonight. And hope you all have a great week. Bye, everyone.